Yeah, but like a lot of offlaners don't really like playing against Bloodseeker. But I think it's like a perfect Bloodseeker pick. You're playing into, Queen of Pain, who's got mobility. Pango, you're a hard counter to him because during Rolling Thunder, you completely stop that. Razor, he's a hero who has an ability that literally just gives you bonus move speed. So it's a god tier pick in this game. I feel like the Lina beats the Queen of Pain. I feel like the Chaos Knight's only really countered by the Phoenix, and that's a support. This is a really good draft for Gaming Gladiators. They definitely won the draft.
Well, it always is something I kind of talk about, that Dota is two games within itself. The first game being the draft and the second game being the actual game. And when you win the draft, you definitely give yourself a high % chance of still winning the game. You still have to execute it right, and we'll see what they can do with this. As Ace again on another hero. It feels like they feel comfortable kind of just putting him on pretty much anything. I've now seen him play on the Anti-Mage, and we've seen him on the Underlord, and now the CK. Like, his hero pool is pretty massive, and it definitely feels like Gaming Gladiators can make a lot out of having that availability in that offlane to do what they want in this draft.
They can. I think Ace does really well in these like carry type offlaners that can function with like a decent amount of farm and actually do right clicks, like Night Stalker, Beastmaster. Like, these are some of his best heroes, and I feel like CK's like that. The way a lot of people play the offlane these days is you just like, get a couple of bracers, phase boots. We saw last game with Zai, and you just like sit in the enemy jungle, you just sit in their safe lane and be this like unkillable monster, and it ends up getting you a lot of farm. And so I do feel like that was Ace's playstyle before that was really the meta for offlane, and so I like to see him on like CKs and heroes like that.
Yeah, so we'll see what he ends up doing here and what his skill build's going to be. We've seen the CK shard a lot when you get that CK pickup, just granting him that illusion off the Chaos Bolt. Like, that does feel pretty strong, and see if
actually tri-laning top.
Matuma Man taking a lot of damage here. Tofu running in, Ace looking for the first blood, and it ends up being Tofu who grabs it. So with the tri-lane here, the Shadow Demon, the Chen, and the CK, there isn't much that Matuma Man can do when he's getting hit with these right clicks, stunned up, disrupted. And then also they're giving the extra little right clicks coming through from the Chen. And that leaves, at least right now, Bloodseeker 2v1 bottom.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, you're playing into Phoenix Pango. It's not really a lane that has very much kill threat. It's purely just like, slow harass, which Bloodseeker can deal with, especially if the lane's right in front of his tower. And then Razor doesn't like playing into tri-lane, so yeah, this seems really like a very good idea. I mean, and Gaming Gladiators, they like doing these aggressive tri-lanes in general. This is just like their thing. But in this particular game, it does seem really good as well.
Have to see if they make any changes, or if just having this early tri-lane, turning it maybe a little bit later into a dual lane, and having, say, maybe Chen or the Shadow Demon kind of, or both, really rotate towards mid to try and make something happen, or start to rotate out of the lane. But see how it goes. Is bottom lane, Braccio gets harassed up a little bit. They do move the Chen towards bottom, so they'll try to help out, at least now, with this Bloodseeker who's already level 3.
Huh, it looks like they're doing the sharing control thing top, where the Chen Wildwing is being controlled by Tofu. So they kind of still have a Chen up here to a degree. Well, he's just a tornado now, but for like a few seconds there, that was really cool.
And the tornado warning is over as it goes away. But we can see with that early first blood, like, there's certainly comfort in this lane for Ace. Kind of do whatever he wants, and over bottom, it's just about whether or not this Bloodseeker can kind of continue the role. He got that early extra solo experience, so he'll be moving to a little bit of a quicker 6, and might end up costing Liquid by allowing him to have these early levels, right? Like that 6 against the Pangolier, or maybe he moves over. It feels like Rupture early against this Liquid lineup is going to be very devastating for them.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, even high levels in Thirst, though, is pretty important in this game. Like, just for the end of the laning stage here because there's a lot of harass coming out of the other lanes. Durachio went for boots first, and he's playing against a Pango Phoenix. Like, these heroes, there's actually like no stuns on the Liquid lineup. It's just Pango ult. That's it. Like, they can just TP away on Gaming Gladiators from any of these heroes and be fine.
The lack of control is certainly concerning, and that's definitely not a thing that's Gaming Gladiators is too concerned about, because they've got themselves the Chaos Bolt, they have Disruption, they'll have the LSA to line up with the Disruption if as the game goes later and later. Like, they're definitely set when it comes to lockdown, and then when these heroes try to run, of course there is that Rupture and there is that Thirst. The chase is going to be pretty good here for Gaming Gladiators. It feels like they're definitely checking a lot of these boxes. Phoenix getting pretty low as Celery comes over and maybe trying to deny himself to neutrals, and Boxy will do so successfully. Oh, now the neutrals have more kills than Liquid.
Nice deny. I mean, I like that he kept running into the neutrals instead of right-clicking at once, because I think if he right-clicks at once, he does risk the little Centaur hitting and the Chen hitting, so... just a little bit of nice micro play there, but...
Disruption again, and a lot of damage on a Matoma, man! Oh my! Disruption, Reality Rift, and then a Chaos Bolt was more than enough to get Ace and Tofu that kill in the top lane. That is now the second time they have lost the Razor.
Yeah, CK's a weird hero. You'd think that Razor's pretty good against it because, well, at least in lane, because it's a melee hero, but Chaos Bolt level 1 can do 180 maximum magic damage. He might have overstayed his welcome a little bit there.
That's even more rough because he used the TP, so it's going to be a long walk back to that lane.
Yeah, that's a pretty big blunder from him. That kind of throws the lane a little bit. Matumba Man's definitely going to get some space now.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Durachio, again, just pretty safe down here bottom. And getting the CS that he wants. He's 29-4, leading the CS right now. We haven't really talked about it too much, is that mid matchup. But pretty standard. Queen of Pain, Lina. Not something we've seen a lot recently, but there was a point in time where Lina felt like it was in every game.
Is under attack.
Yeah, for sure. And I've actually heard a lot of mid laners say that this Lina is stronger in laning than the previous Lina.
Boom trying to use that Laguna Blade and maybe thinking that he was going to land that Light Strike Array, and now Boom on the run a little bit. Tofu goes for the TP. They use the Sonic Wave, and Boom ends up falling to Mickey, who went back to base and walks all the way back to get into this fight and ending up taking out the Lina.
Yeah, that's a huge kill. Huge kill there. Queen of Pain getting some early levels. Very important. Maxing out Scream. He can run to these side lanes. He finally has his boots, so he's not just like walking around super slowly. Solid on resources. Mickey's looking like he's getting to a pretty good start here, man. 40-10. Solid.
Durachio using that Rupture already. Didn't turn into a kill or anything, so it's going to be on cooldown for another 25 seconds. Didn't look like they got either Zai. Zai did back up, so I didn't see it, but I'm going to assume that it was used on the Pangolier to maybe force him back a little bit.
Zai's build is cool this game. He went for Ring of Health Soul Ring, which I've not seen many Pangoliers do this build. I'm curious what he's building out of the Ring of Health. Maybe a Vanguard, maybe a Hood. Maybe he just leaves his casual Ring of Health or Lotus Orb. Probably Lotus Orb. That's probably why he went for this build. Lotus
again on Matumba, man. They've got the Reality Rift, the damage coming through, 3 stacks of the Shadow Poison. Tofu moving in while Boom ends up dead over in the mid lane. Ace unable to commit any further and only staying at 3 stacks on the Shadow Poison, so Matumba Man able to survive, especially with the help of Insania on this IO. Plasma Field lands, Tofu on the run, Fairy Fire eaten, a stun thrown over at the Razor to save the life of the Shadow Demon, so don't get anything out of that, but the aggression coming in is not successful from Game Gladiators, and with that, Matumba Man actually turns it around completely and does end up getting the kill on the Ace. They go for it.
Yeah, I mean, Gaming Gladiators up here, they're just kind of overstaying their welcome, and Liquid is taking advantage of it. Like, Matumba might actually even get Tofu, too. Solo.
Gets Tofu, bottom lane, Rolling Thunder coming through, and Solari dying, but denied. Ooh, just on the last right click, right before the Queen of Pain was going to get that kill.
He might have gotten a javelin proc on that tonight too, I'm pretty sure. Just for the, let's see.
This again, thinking about going in. I don't know if that's really the reality rift you want. There is still a little bit of duration on the Eye of the Storm left. Disruption, LSA, Laguna Blade, this time working for Boom. No, Dyrachio losing that courier too. That had the chip vest on it. With Zai just cutting the creep wave. So what was a free lane initially for this Bloodseeker, there's been a lot of aggression here over bottom and trying to make him a little bit more uncomfortable. He does have Rupture, but right now he's by himself, and it looks like Mickey wants to make the move. They throw the Rupture out and the Blood Right, but all of a sudden, all this Bloodseeker's in some trouble. Icarus Dive comes out from Boxy in that deny range and gets the Scream, so Mickey gonna get that kill out onto the Bloodseeker, and all of a sudden, you know, Liquid's kind of pulling away with a little bit of a lead. They've thrown the aggression successfully around, and it's working out for them.
Dude, I gotta say, there's some like next level stuff that was just happening on that bot lane. So Zai goes for this Soul Ring into, oh, hold that thought. Nah, Ace should be fine. So Zai goes for this Soul Ring into Ring of Health build, right? Which normally Pangolier can't really cut creep waves because he doesn't have the mana for it, but since he's going for this build, he can cut creep waves. So because he has the build and he's cutting creep waves,
Tofu just dead, gonna die. It looked like for a second he might get that TP out, but everybody was there to kill him. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's a lot to explain because there's like levels to it. Basically, Zai has a build where he can cut creep waves. Dyrachio realizes this, and Mickey realizes Dyrachio realizes that, and so he baits the creep wave cutting because it looks like Zai is going to be on his own with the item build that he has. Like, it's insanely next level. And I'm just ignoring everything that's happening because I'm just so mind blown by that like altercation that happened bottom. It's actually really cool.
Yeah, Boom playing with fire there, as just throwing some right clicks over at the Queen of Pain, but there with the Phoenix. So like Mickey and Boxy are able to just combine on that, while now Ace finally gets a kill onto Insania. So he's got his first kill of the game. And Matama Man definitely thinking about trying to go in there. I don't think he's really too scared of Ace at the moment. He did die a couple times up top because of the strength of this CK, but at the moment, Liquid are moving around the map really well and feel pretty confident.
Ace went drums on CK, by the way. I think that's really cool. I mean, Zai? Not a Rupture
Again. And Supernova right on top of this Bloodseeker. They want a high five. That's all they want. And maybe the kill as well, but taking out this Bloodseeker once again. Second time he's died pretty consecutively. And it's Liquid moving around the entirety of the map. They'll throw a Shadow Strike over at the Chen, forcing him to TP back, trying to get to the mech and maybe get a little bit more sustainability to this game in Gladiators side. But again, Liquid, now they're going to go for the tier 1 bottom, and it's just aggression from Liquid.
Yeah, and this top tower, it's full HP, so I think Liquid can actually hold this. They have the relocate from the 2 heroes that made this rotation to bot, so maybe they're not going to hold it. That's a big Shen army. And they don't have Pango roll. Okay, I can understand why they would not go for that.
And there goes the top tier 1. Zai just looking for an opening. He doesn't have the Rolling Thunder just yet, so keeping an eye on Dyrachio. And Matama Man almost has that BKB, so once he gets that BKB, he's going to feel fairly confident. Even more confident. It's like the word I've just been repeating every 5 seconds because it does feel like Liquid are full of it. You get that BKB, you just run into these fights, and what do Gaming Gladiators do once he's able to run so freely around this team?
Yeah, that's when he becomes the value Rupture target, but then you're not rupturing a Pangolier who's also having a very solid game. So ideally, I mean, if you're Gaming Gladiators, you're looking to take out like either the Pango or the Razor before the fight starts, like Rupture the Razor, focus Pango with your other stuns, like something along those lines. But that's easier said than done, man. Like, you know, the right heroes have to be in the right position for you to do that, and Liquid might not give you that opportunity.
Wondering what the comeback avenue right now is for the Bloodseeker. He's not too far off of the Razor in terms of top of the net worth. Now has this Maelstrom to amp up his farm a little bit, but is it going to be enough for him to kind of get some time to farm here? Does he have to get into the BKB before he can really feel like he wants to fight at all in this situation?
He can probably show up to a fight at the end and like catch some stragglers and, you know, get some kills that way. Maybe poke from far with Rupture and Blood Right. But like in terms of just like running into a fight like a, you know, traditional carry and trying to DPS, like, yeah, that's gonna get him killed right now.
3-man smoke from Gaimin Gladiators, maybe looking to find one with Boom, making a rotation in, and it's Matumba Man who's towards the front. Got the disruption, and now looking for the relocate, and they're gone. So now you see him, now you don't. Here comes Mickey, coming across the bow of this Gaimin Gladiator side and running away a little bit. He does have that haste rune to do so. And Boom TP's up towards top, so they're looking for their BKBs on this Gaimin Gladiator side. They really need it on both Boom and Dyrachyo. Meanwhile, Ace, of course, going into the Echo Saber after picking up these drums of endurance. Diffusal is the build here for Zai.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. It's interesting. Like, he starts out going for this Lotus Rush, and you think, like, okay, he's going to go, like, pure defensive. But it seemed like his game is just going decent. Oh, Boom is definitely dead.
Yeah, not much you can do there. Mickey in on it. And they'll take out this Cena who just TP top.
Now does Mickey get himself killed up here? Is this the...
Just the dead lane?
No, he's good. He's good. Yeah, this is for mid laners, this is the dead lane. Anybody else that comes here seems to be fine.
Showing up and all of a sudden, well, all right, I'm dead. Echo Saber now finished off for Ace. Meanwhile, you've got that BKB on Matumba Man. He's also always got the help of Insania. We saw it previously where the disruption was timed with the relocate and they were able to get the escape on that one. So not exactly that easy for Gaimin Gladiators to even get these kills unless they have the proper lockdown. Uh-oh. Might be the dead lane here for the Bloodseeker too. That's who they want to go for.
Yeah, they saw him on the ward, so they know he's there.
Avoiding them so far. It's into the trees and the TP. Like we said, the lockdown not great here for Liquid.
Yep, Zai would already need to be rolling in order to cancel that TP. Very unfortunate. Okay, so we do have a Yule's. Boxy's going for one of those. Let's see, is there any other TP cancel? I mean, none of these other heroes really like to build it, so... It's all on Boxy to be the TP canceler right now, and he's not got his Yule's just yet. Now he does.
It just needs to, I believe, be delivered, so we'll have that. Meanwhile, also, Zai gonna turn this Perseverance into the Lincoln, so your Rupture target trying to protect himself. Maybe put the focus on the Razor to get ruptured, but again, like you said, when you do that, all of a sudden, Rolling Thunder is able to do everything it wants to in these fights.
Yeah, great Lincoln's game. Like, the fact that you can actually put it on the Razor is super nice. And I think that's probably what you aim for too, because once the BKBs come out from the Gaimin Gladiators, they don't really need to worry about the Pango roll or the Phoenix Egg. So then it does become about Matumba Man, like dealing with him, because he's the hero that pierces through BKB. But I think Zai getting the Lincolns and throwing it on him is a super solid choice. I thought maybe Lotus, because there are other heroes like the Lotus is good against. There are heroes that can like cancel the Lincolns, but a BKB Razor, like really the only thing he's afraid of is a Rupture. So I can understand that. Like once he has the BKB, it's just the Rupture. Or the SD ult. There's actually, it's a really good Lincoln's game. They like need two, honestly.
I wonder if anybody else is gonna look to buy it. It feels like Pangolier is the only one who not only gonna be the proper choice, but also get himself the...
Ooh, that was sick. That was sick. That's the one time I've ever seen that Wildkin tornado be used. Where it wasn't
over
just
the cliff.
Yeah, that was cool.
Now that forces them back and they're in a rush.
Yeah, true. Like all of Gamers Gladiators are pretty committed towards the bot lane. We get to watch it again.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm down to see
Perfect.
this again. Let's go. Yeah, that's awesome. That's like such a scuffed force staff. Like my boy Celery has not enough gold for a force staff, but he doesn't need one. That's actually cool if he keeps like a Wildkin around to try to deal with the Razor. Just like, you know, force the you can even get a force staff and like double force the dude that gets linked. Once again, seems scuffed and very difficult to execute, but very cool.
Hey, 1 for 1 so far. Uh-oh, Tofu. Going back towards his team, maybe baiting them in? Still gonna come around the bend. It's not really the best bait. He does have an Aegis as well as a BKB. I don't know if you really want to fight that. Seems a little bit scary.
They're just kind of running away from Matumba Man for Gamma Gladiators. Like anytime he shows up, they either like all 5-man to where he's going, or they just like scatter. You know, which I can understand. Big boy Razor with an Aegis and an IO behind him. It seems like quite a pain to deal with, and it's not like there are any stuns on Liquid to like prevent this. You can just farm if you're Gamma Gladiators.
Sure. And now the defusal, but the BKB is popped early from Daracho. He's going to be forced to TP out.
Yep, that is about right.
It's the Pango to leave and pops his BKB, so he's safe to go. Now they're going to look to get Insania on the way back from that relocate, and that's exactly what they do. They get a quick kill onto the IO, which is really all they've kind of had, as he is half their deaths on the side of Liquid.
Yeah, there's been a lot of avoiding action happening in this game, actually. So, I mean, at some point we're gonna see a big epic team fight, but you know, in typical 7-point whatever the hell number patch we're on fashion, the BKB timings have to come out from like both sides. So, like we wait until there are 3 BKBs on all of the cores on both sides, and then the fighting usually begins. That's you know, something that I definitely expect to get nerfed in the C patch, but nope, BKB still OP.
What would be the proper change, you think?
I think probably like cooldown increase as the the duration goes lower. Something like maybe just a bit. Feels like you can just spam the 6-second BKB and there's no problem, you know.
Maybe give like a max cooldown, but it goes up.
Yeah, like Eon Disc.
Yeah.
I mean, that did nerf that item into the ground though, so maybe not go that hard, but
Still sometimes picked up, but
yeah, sometimes.
It's gone from every time to sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel like BKB is definitely one of those items that is more so of an item you keep into the always kind of category, and maybe nerfing it too much might be an issue.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we saw it on a damn Rubik mid last game, like first item BKB. That's when you know it's like a little too good. And like the correct Storm build right now is 2 null tallies BKB.
Here comes
that's
the
really
Thunder.
it.
And then the BKB. It was Blink Dagger next on the Bloodseeker, and he's looking to get the shard afterwards.
Blink Dagger.
A lot. On a hero that I feel like
That's
X
cool.
mobility from Thirst. I'm a little... I don't know. Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe my brain's not ranked high enough, but... Ooh, popping the Lincolns immediately. Disruption, Blood Right with the LSA. They've got the stun. They'll have the Laguna. They'll get the kill on his eye. Now they'll look over at Boxy. The right-click damage, and then the Rupture onto the Queen of Pain. I don't have a way to stop McKay yet, but at the same time, they get Insania. He stood there, canceled his TP. I was a little confused by that, because immediately he TP'd, then stopped it, maybe thinking that he can outlast the duration of Rupture and come back in. I'm not sure, but that was interesting.
I like this from Tofu. He's just like, hey, get out of here. Your team's dead. You don't get the farm here. Just poking. Yeah, very nice.
You want to farm? That's not happening.
No, that's not. That's my farm. Get out of here. So Blink Dagger on Durachi. Let's try to figure this out. I feel
Yeah.
like it's to get the IO, and maybe he can like instant blink after the static link, or like blink in once the static link is used, something like that. Like it does seem like a game where positioning matters a lot.
The only thing I worry about is Tofu's getting chased. He goes into the trees, but of course Matumba Man has the plasma field to scout him out and get that kill onto Tofu. The one thing that I do get worried about is like, it's a lot of gold for a mobility item for a hero that does get some extra mobility through Thirst, right?
This is true. This is true. You know what it's gonna be? It's for the Blood Mist Aghanim Scepter. Eventually he's gonna Blood Mist and then blink in.
Radiant's middle tower
Still are probably the worst Ags in the game. It's so bad.
Dire's
I'm here
top
for it,
tower
though.
is under
I'm
attack.
glad it doesn't do pure damage to you anymore. That was so stupid. Just melt you.
We'll see if he does go for the Ags. I think everybody's kind of like, oh, we see Bloodseeker. We want to see this Ags. Give us the Ags.
Yeah. It just does so little damage, you know? It's just so little.
Better or worse than Pudge Rot?
I think it's actually genuinely worse than Pudge Rot. Like a Pudge Rot with the Ags,
Dire are scanning.
it might be worse than
Sure.
normal Pudge Rot. It might actually do less damage unless somebody's got like 2 hearts or something.
Silver Edge picked up for Boom. He was outputting a lot of damage in that previous fight by the outpost bottom. The question is, does he continue to get that kind of open space? It was a little bit of a lost fight from Liquid in terms of positioning, and you already brought it up. Positioning, very important.
Zai might be running into his death here. He does have Lincolns. Not an easy kill.
Nikkei blinking in, and then the blink forward from the Bloodseeker. Rupture, BKBs, and there's the Sonic Wave as well as the Supernova, and you've now blinked into your death. Blink forward from Mikkei onto the Illusions. They've got the Rolling Thunder coming out from Zion looking for somebody, but they got the Bloodseeker. They're happy with that. And we'll go for more. They got the silence out thanks to the shard on the Queen of Pain. Now there's the break. Boom from the high ground, right-clicking away. Not a lot of damage just yet. He also has the Sun Ray from this Phoenix, and behind them is Zai. So Zai hit with the LSA, while on the other side of the fight, they go for Ace. Ace is going to try and TP out the swashbuckle away from the Pangolier. They've got the Yules out onto Ace, keeping him there. But now Mikkei gets the kill onto the Chen. They'll look over at this CK and take out 3, while Boom is still trying to throw out some right clicks to get a kill and finally finishes off Zai. That is 2-pronged. Tofu TP's out. Nothing to stop that either. And a 2-pronged attack that benefits Liquid again.
Man, Boxy just hard carried that team fight. Like the initial heals when Duraccio blinks in and keeping his Queen of Pain alive. And then also he hits the Yules, which cancels Ace's TP. Ace TP'd out because he's like, you idiots have no TP interrupt when there's no top lane. He's trying.
Rupture, Laguna. What right?
Reload? Again, a reload.
Insania, no relocate. So yeah, Matumba Man ends up going down to the Bloodseeker. A little bit of revenge. It was on cooldown now for another 5 seconds and didn't have the mana for it either.
Very nice call from Gaimin Gladiators. Just like recognizing that everything's on cooldown and that Liquid has split up and going for that kill there. Like even though they had just lost a fight, they realized like they have some advantage there. So really excellent call from them.
Yeah, can't just sit back and allow Liquid to then farm up and extend their own lead because of a lost fight like that, knowing you had the opportunity. Rolling Thunder out onto Tofu, hits him again, right clicks from Boom, being felt, but Insania back in. Not that Insania is really working with a lot of mana here. Again, he doesn't have the mana for relocate. Finally, he picks up enough mana to use it if needed. So, not a bad job by Gaming Gladiators to sort of push Liquid back again, especially knowing that Roche, the timing is coming up soon.
Yeah, this would have been like a really ideal timing for Gaming Gladiators if Roshan had respawned. You can see they went into the pit, they checked it because I had no roll. Like even with Matumba coming alive, I think without roll, Liquid looks, the fights look difficult because it's their only real disable.
Yules. Blood right and into the Supernova. They're going to just try and right-click this egg down. That's exactly what they do. They go to the Sonic Wave, and now Boom trying to fight Matumba Man and maybe even TP out, I believe. Yeah. Well, it's not going to be fortunate enough for him there on this Lina, so dead for quite a while. And like you said, unfortunate that Game Gladiators didn't get the Roche timing. Now it's down for another 30 seconds, and the Lina of Boom will be down for another 35 once that Roche does respawn.
Yeah, and it looks like they are pinging it. Like both sides are pinging it, realizing that it's got to respawn really soon. So Insania is just going to do the typical support thing, which is just literally standing in the pit until it respawns. It used to be Courier that would do this, but now supports, as if it wasn't hard and boring enough to play support. Oh my god, it just respawns as he leaves. No.
Meanwhile, Ace getting boxy. The silence off the blink. He does pick that gem back up, and he's trying to TP out.
Oh boy, that's huge. That's an insane solo kill, dude.
Oh, really risky, too, to just step up like that. They had heroes coming in, but again, it's the lack of TP stopping that benefits Gaming Gladiators there to make the escape.
Yep, he was going on the one guy that has a low cooldown stun. So if he kills the Phoenix, it's just Pango roll. Zai is going to be picking up a Basher here soon, too, so that's definitely going to help. And then Sheepstick coming out from Nikkei. He almost has it.
Oh, Roche is back up. Double damage, set to spawn, of course.
Very nice. The Nahaz special.
I need some stats. What is the percentage that a double damage spawns as Roche spawns as well? Because I feel like it's 85-90%.
I can tell you the percentage of enemy players who are pissed off when a double damage spawns. That's 100.
They take a quick Roche, too. Who'd they put that shard on? Did they just give it to Bloodseeker? Or did he buy his?
He had one in his quick buy for a while.
Maybe CK got it, because he's got his shard queued up, and now he's...
Yeah, he got it. He got the shard. He got the shard.
Okay. That's a good shard to have.
It's a good shard. It is one of the ones that got nerfed, though. Like, the range bonus on it has been halved, so it's not as insane as it was before. Like, I think a big part of why it was strong was because you could be standing, like, 2 screens away and still throw a stun at one of these, like, backline supports, and you don't have to commit to kill them. Now you might need to actually blink first in order to do that, which, like, committing your blink, like, that can get you killed. So it's, still good, but not as good as it was.
Working with this Aegis time, now Gaming Gladiators, they're the ones who have a little bit of a net worth lead, and they are working with this second life to potentially make Liquid a bit more uncomfortable, but now Matama Man, I believe, has finished off this Refresher Orb. So that's certainly not fun to fight into. And pretty significant power spike from Matama Man here. And we'll see what Liquid can do with it if they're going to just wait until that Aegis times out. But that's still another 3.5 minutes away, where it feels like Gaming Gladiators can kind of move to their own free will.
Yeah, it's going to be evasive maneuvers here coming out from Team Liquid, and, they have heroes for it. Pangolier, Queen of Pain, Razor, all very quick heroes, can sit in trees and, like, blow up waves. So as long as Boxy sits in base and he throws some spirits on waves and defends, like, I think Liquid's fine with, holding out and not losing a huge gold lead here. Cat and mouse is the name of the game right now for them.
Never want to be the mouse in that situation.
No.
Unless you're on Tom and Jerry, then I feel like you're fine.
Yeah, that's a very aggressive mouse. Violent. Always wins.
Has mallets, can drop refrigerators from the ceiling. I don't know how he does
Anvils all the time.
Anvils, yeah. Acme has come a long way in allowing mice to use their products.
Yeah, I've never seen an anvil before. Who's seen an anvil? There are blacksmiths around, Well, that's only on, like, reality TV shows. The ones where they, like, make the swords?
Yeah. And they see who can have the strongest weapon.
Yeah.
Well, a problem here for Ace. He's killed off very quickly, but the right click's coming into Matamba Man. He pops the BKB as well as a refresher, and he is in some trouble, but gets relocated out of the fight. They take out 3 on the side of Gaming Gladiators, and Liquid, what looked to be very problematic as they were getting Matamba Man low, gets saved here by the IO, and all of a sudden the fight turns around heavily for them. Even with that Aegis, it's not a Gaming Gladiators victory in that fight.
No, I mean, Gaming Gladiators, they were just not expecting Mickey to have the full Hex completed at that point. Ace positioning very aggressively, doesn't get the BKB off, and then Insania with the save on Matamba Man. Matamba Man tanked a massive amount of damage in that fight and then just got saved by Insania. They just executed that team fight flawlessly.
Right up onto the high ground.
41 seconds on Duraccio. I mean, I think this is a Rax.
Oh, there's the Hex. And Lotus Orb, Disruption. Gotta be very careful if you're Boom. You're trying to deter them, but not a lot of mana to work with. Plasma Field comes in. Knows he's got the Aegis, so he is playing a bit forward, knowing with the second life maybe he can make something happen. But he needs to be careful. The timing might not work out if it were to extend itself in the fight, but they do get Zai. So it looks like Liquid from there will at least back off. They've got no Pango for 70 seconds, and Boom still dealing with an Aegis for 35.
And Liquid really wanted to get that last hit on the barracks there, and so Matamba sticks around, tries to get that extra hit in, and because of that, his team is like kind of backing him up. Ends up getting Zai killed, and unfortunately for them, they don't even finish off the barracks, so it will be healing. No Rax advantage from that push. Just a tower advantage, which is something. Wait, the gem wasn't picked up? All right, free gem. Boxy's like, hell yeah, dude, that was mine, bro.
Back home with Papa.
Yeah,
Gem is back.
the amount of gold he lost from not getting those D awards. He's ruptured. He can egg.
Can if he needs to. He's looking for the Aeon Disc, and now he'll go into the egg. Daracho right there on it, but the rest of the team coming in. The Lotus Orb was there. They've got the Hand of God. The Sonic Wave thrown immediately. Look at that damage. That is the second time they have gone after this Bloodseeker and made quick work of him after he's blinked in. The silence on the Tofu. They'll chase after the Chancellor in some trouble, and again gets onto the high ground with that Wild Wing.
Not going to save him this time.
No. Puts him into more teammates, but he seemed to have perfected that. That was interesting.
I like that Liquid expected him to get up to the high ground too. Like, they had people there waiting for him. But man, Daracho with the blink, like, we kind of questioned it because, you know, the mobility that he has, and it's not a typical item you'll see on Bloodseeker. He's kind of blinking in and dying. Like, that's second or third time that he's done that. Now Ace is caught out.
Oh man. Yeah, Ace.
Oh, the bash.
Oh, the bash. Oh, Zai's gonna get a couple of tips for that one because he lands
Who missed no BKB?
bash on purpose, and now they're gonna go after Boom. No BKB on cooldown for 20 seconds. He
Or
gets caught out. No buyback. That might just seal the deal. They'll buy back on Ace. They'll buy back on Tofu. Backdoor protection is up for a moment, but this puts them in dire straits and a rough situation to pull yourself out of, that's for sure.
They're really trying to force the Lina buyback right now, thinking that he has it, and he just doesn't. So, like, this might actually end up being a throne push. I don't know if this is a great throne push, though, with Bloodseeker being alive.
Well, now they've got the Bloodseeker. They go to the Rupture. But he's got the Sunray. He's standing his ground. Zai doesn't care about this really at all. Reality Rift comes through. Ace trying to do the damage. All of a sudden, the Bloodseeker starting to output enough with the Refresher popped, and he's gone. They kill the Razor. No buyback. They throw the ult out over onto Zai, but the Lincolns blocks that again. And Mickey, he has the help from Zai. They'll go after Tofu. They'll get the kill to the Shadow Team with the Sunray once again. They're burning out Ace. They'll take him out and put him out on the bottom of the deck. And Solari also killed. 4 heroes gone. They don't need the Razor. They'll buy back on this Chen. Bloodseeker trying to control Mickey, but they've got the Yules that's bounced off via the Lotus Orb, and Mickey's just going to back off.
A lot of deaths, though,
open up
They're
the
going
throne.
for the end.
Be there to
they
really
2v5,
stop them.
2v4.
They're trying. Lina up in 14 seconds again. Hex reflected. Not awful, but the throne is still getting lower and lower. They've got the Sunray. Bloodseeker trying to survive. The Blood Right is down. They'll end up getting the kill and the series. Liquid take it 2-0 over Gaimin Gladiators.